So, I think it's time for an ego check. When did just for fun stop being enough? Like when was the last time you did something just because it feels good and not necessarily because you're good at it? Like, how often do you find yourself doing things just for the pleasure of it with no audience or no end goal? I think somewhere along the way during our adulthood, we started treating every hobby and every passion project as if it's just another item on our checklist. And if it doesn't produce or if it doesn't serve a purpose, we just let it fall off our list. Eliza, the Earthling, actually left a comment on my perfectionist ego trap video. So she said she works with kids to help them develop a growth mindset, which, like, have you ever heard of that? That's crazy. And she said she really tries to emphasize to her kids that they can enjoy things without having to be good at it, which is so nice. And it got me thinking, who's telling us that? Who's reminding us of that as adults? Like, when did we forget we had free will? Because think about it. How often do you let go of a hobby just because you're not great at it? Maybe you tried pottery or baking or Pilates and you just decided not to return to it because it was so hard to get good at it. Or how many times have you not even started something because you can't figure out where it fits in the big picture of your life and your goals? I know I fall victim to this sometimes as a content creator. Sometimes you fall into that trap where you think everything needs to be content. I feel like we've been conditioned to think that everything needs a purpose. But what about those things that seem like they don't? What about those things that just make us feel good? Or the things that simply pique our interest? That's all stuff that if we're not careful, it can just fall through the cracks. And then what then? This topic kind of reminds me of when I was talking about Eat, Pray, Love. And I swear it's one of those movies that I thought I would never watch. I thought it was all girl gets a divorce, she travels the world, blah, blah, blah. But actually watching it hit differently. Like, her intentions while she was traveling had no end goal. She had no purpose. And that freedom that she had, that's what we're missing. So I put together some tips so we can start letting ourselves off the hook a little bit. Are you ready? Tip number 1, adult recess. I want you as a fully grown adult to set aside some time for recess. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes just for fun. No end goal, no perfection. Get strict with it, okay? Don't play about this time, but take that 10 to 15 minutes and just set it as a timer where you're going to experience something just for the fun of it. I think 10 to 15 minutes is a short enough time where you can't really get hyper fixated on trying to make it better or trying to be the best at it. It might just be the break that you didn't even know you needed. So I'm thinking about implementing a self-care themed month on my socials, on TikTok and on Instagram. If you're not following me there, I would love if you did, especially on Instagram. I feel like I just started posting on there again and I need my people. So yes, join me and that should be super fun. Tip number 2, go anonymous. All right. We're getting mysterious. This is for those things that you want to take part in and you want to eventually share, but you're kind of afraid of the judgment. So if you want to make content, art, music, anything along the lines that can be consumed by other people, start posting anonymously. It's like a rush. You can make a private blog or a burner account that's just for you, okay? And that way you get the rush of putting yourself out there without needing to be anything but your own self. You don't have to be the best content creator. You don't have to be the best video editor, the best artist, the best musician. It's just for you. No expectations. How's that sound? Good, right? Okay, tip number 3. I want you to embrace the adventurer mindset. Okay, hear me out. This one's fun. This one, what's the word I'm looking for? Inhabit? Like where you take on something. This one, you basically become a character who's living for the adventure. Dora the Explorer, if you will. So, in this one, you pick something new, something with no agenda, completely milestone-less, and you enter into it like you're a kid. You got to be curious, you got to be open, and you have to have zero expectations on what it could turn into. And also, don't tell anybody about it. You will let all the wind out your sails when you start telling people some of the things that you do that are just for you. But those are some things that I genuinely am trying to do. Let me know what you do when you try to embrace this mindset. Just drop it in the comments. I love reading the comments. And yeah, who knows? This little experiment with these 3 tips might be exactly what we needed. So until the next one, I'm sending love and healing your way. Bye. While she was traveling, had no, my voice is cracking.